Hello all, welcome back again to my YouTube channel Zade Academy. Today let's talk about three more date functions: weekday, workday, and the network day. So starting with the weekday, it's really valuable one. It shows you which day of the week a given date falls on, and there are two ways you can do this. The first is just to use a custom cell format, so you can use either 3 Ds to get an abbreviated day of week or 4 Ds to get the full day of week. And again, note that this isn't actually changing the value or creating any kind of new value. It's only changing how the original date value is being displayed to you. The second, which is the approach that I would recommend it, is using the weekday function, which actually returns a serial value corresponding to a particular date of the week, either 1 through the 7 or 0 through 6. So the syntax wise is pretty simple. You have got your serial number at the beginning. So the serial number is the cell that contains the data or the time, and then your return type, which is the optional, or the 0 is your default one, which assigns a number 1 to a Sunday up to like 7, which is Saturday. If you prefer to call Monday the start of the week and assign 1 to Monday, you can put 1 here instead of 0 as well, or instead of leaving it a blank. So it is a really useful function, especially when it comes to doing things like day of week analysis, where you want to see how performance or the data differs on a Tuesday versus Thursday, or versus Friday versus Wednesday, and so on. So now the next is workday and the network days. So workday, to be totally honest, it's a little bit confusing. Basically, it returns a date that is a specified number of days before or after a given start date. Excluding weekdays and the holidays, if you choose to add those ones. So the most common application that I can think of is to say what date falls 50 work days from today. So once I get through 50 work days, which doesn't include weekends, what date I'm gonna land on. And so syntax wise starts with your start date, then goes to the number of days. You can either put the positive value here if you want to look forward in the future, or you can put negative value here if you want to look back in the past. So those are all the required components. There are an optional holiday component that lets you refer a list of holidays, and it will essentially exclude those from the number of working days that it's calculating. So that's workday. Network day, which I actually finds much more useful and more practical, shows you the number of work days between two dates. So you you input a start date and end date and an optional reference to a list of holidays, and it will tell you how many work days or the working days fell between those dates. Now let's jump into an Excel and see kind of how this works in the practical. So here I have got a project expiry date, and I'm just going to make up some date that means nothing, like if you are saying December 1st 2024. I mean, let's say this is a big project, and it's going to be the, I mean, taking a lot of time to complete this project. So let's take 2024. Now the, let's say, weekdays until the expiry. This is really simple, since the first one, since date values are really just values that I can perform any normal operation on, just like I would any other numbers. I'm just going to say uh, the expiry day, sorry, equals expiry day minus the current day. So if I press enter, you will get 693 as an output. So here I have 693 days between the current date and the expiry date. So that's the total days until expiry. Now, if I want the number of work days until the expiry, obviously I'm not gonna spend my weekdays, sorry, weekends working on this project. So I can use network days here. So let's get equals the network days. So network dates, it's to begin with the start date, where the date is the current date, comma. The next one is the end date, which is the expiry date. Now, so there is the last one option is there, which is holidays. Now if I leave the optional holidays at the blank and close the parenthesis, press the enter, we will get the output as a 495, which telling me that I have only like 495 working days remain until its expiry of the project. So for the holidays pieces, what I can do, what I can't do is just type in a number of like holidays. Like if I'm pressing 5 here, it will give me a 495 as an output. So if exclude those 5 holidays, those just return the same value of output. What it needs here is an actual reference to a list of dates that define the holidays that I want to exclude. So here is the list of the holidays we have, which is falls under 2023 between, I mean, today's date and the expiry one. And I plan to take off and not work. So what I can do is say, I mean, to change this like 5, instead of 5, I'm just putting this array and press OK now. So instead of just putting 5, I'm just doing this one. Now you can see here it update to the 484. So it exclude these holidays date as well. Note that if you have a holiday that also falls on a weekend, it would have already been excluded here. But in this case, all of these dates are weekdays only, so they were being counted in the total, and so when I add that reference in, it excludes those holidays as well and leave me with the 484 as an output, which is the working days until the project is gonna expire. Now the last but not the least, for the day of week, again I could um, just write going to format cell here in the expiry project date, and let's see for the format cell, then, and let's customize it and delete this one by and putting this d d d d and pressing OK. You'll see that it shows Sunday, but I want to continue. I'm just pressing Control Z, so I want to continue to show the date in its current format and just add the day of a week separately here. So I'm gonna use the weekday function now. So equals weekday, open up the parenthesis. Now the C, it says the serial number, which is the expiry date. And I'm gonna leave that return type now. If I press the comma, you will see the return type. So I'm gonna leave that as it is, as a default one, and press the like enter button. So again, if I check, you will get the output as a 1. So again, if I go format the cell, and now I can change that to the custom field. That delete this one, then D D D D and enter. Okay, so there you go, you find that is the Sunday output. So Sunday is the one which is like expiry project 12/1/2024 is the day Sunday. So there you go, there's the weekday, work day, and the networks day. So thank you all for watching this video. If you like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe the channel to get more videos to the SZ Academy. Thank you all.